way to the hunt. And we have a shot of Zanufka.
This week on Destination Whitetail, we're headed to the hunting holy land of Wisconsin.
The quality of deer around here is just phenomenal compared to other areas, even in the state of Wisconsin.
Even with plenty of deer, arguments between bow and gun hunters are, well, heated. Here, the only thing that's more sacred than fine cheese and Packer games is the opening day of deer hunting season.
Awesome. Good stuff.
To the hunt.
43 states have deer hunting seasons to keep some 24 million white-tailed deer that roam North America in check. Each state, county, city, and landowner have their own way to harvest whitetail. This is one of them.
Know the nature of the animal.
I'll just give you a little sidebar before we start. There were no deer here.
And anybody that doesn't get that isn't deer.
We really didn't know what to anticipate for the first year.
Hey, I'm Lauren Rich, and welcome to this week's episode of Destination Whitetail. Today, we're headed to Wisconsin, where the only thing more sacred to the locals than the Green Bay Packers and their cheese is the opening day of deer season.
Wisconsin has some of the highest deer densities in the country, and pockets of Waupaca County support over 70 deer per square mile. It's little wonder why the whitetail is so ingrained into the culture. What's the most important thing to Wisconsinites? Packers or deer? That's a lot like asking a parent who their favorite child is.
You know, I think the deer hunting and the Packers kind of go hand in hand when you get down to the camaraderie of opening weekend of gun season.
It's pretty close between the Packers and deer hunting.
I know a lot of people are different. I mean, some people are a little bit more Packer crazy than I am, but...
Most like both. I mean, it's kind of a toss-up.
You see more blaze orange at the Green Bay Packer games than you may in the woods at times.
You can look in the stands and see half the people have orange on because that's their warmer clothes. Most of them do have.
Outside maybe the Packers making it to the Super Bowl, I don't see people getting as excited, you know, as they do for the opening weekend of gun season.
The one thing that people don't realize is how many people are actually out deer hunting in the state. You know?
I know that in the state of Wisconsin, the masses of blaze orange flooding across the borders.
I don't know how to really put it in words. You know, organized chaos is, you know, people would wonder how come everybody's in orange for one, and everybody's scurrying around and driving and looking in trucks, and people in orange are driving around town peeking in the back of trucks just to see, you know, holy cow, did they shoot that? And then they stop and then they talk, and, you know.
Most people from other states are, you know, yeah, they hardly realize hunting season's even going on in their state. Wisconsin, everybody knows what's going on.
When you drive around during the gun season in the state of Wisconsin, if you spot a pickup truck without blaze orange on the dash or on someone or a coat, then I think you should give me a call because it's hard to find, especially in this area.
People really kind of relish that whole hunting season around here. It's unique.
It's just an impressive sight. And being in such a deer mecca where we live here, we experience it to the ultimate max.
And right here in Waupaca County, we're right in the middle of it. We have the most hunters there are in the whole state. They're right here. Everybody that lives here hunts, and then you have all the people that come and hunt.
In a small town like this, if there is a good one at the registration station, everybody knows about it, and pretty soon people just go over there to see what's going on. Leave a little frustrated going, that lucky SOB, you know. Around here, I think that bow hunting is taken a lot more seriously than the gun hunting.
Bow hunting, it's more of a It's you matching yourself against a whitetail in a close quarters environment. The time that we invest in these deer is just astronomical.
The bow hunters start getting ready after the 4th of July.
There's people out starting to pattern these deer already in June. You know, all the trail pictures and things like that, they start floating between everyone, you know.
As a bow hunter, I know that the bow hunting season for most people in this area starts the minute the turkey season gets over, or sometimes earlier than that.
I think bow hunters know a little bit more, have learned a little bit more about the animal. I think they appreciate the animal being a little bit more in its natural environment without the pressure.
And this is not a knock on the pure gun hunter, but it's kind of, you know, I'm sitting in this spot no matter what on the opening day of gun season because that's where the deer go when the people start moving.
And most of the bow hunters are gun hunters too, so.
Gun season, you know, if you got a 40-acre parcel or a 20-acre parcel and you're out there, most of the deer that you're seeing are scared from the moment you walk in the woods.
You know, it's getting into funnels and pinch points that the deer are pushed through.
Because they've been kicked up, chased, you know, so it's really not the same.
Gun season for me, I mean, along with the hunting, has been more about sitting with friends and family. I definitely got started gun hunting first. I think that's probably a pretty traditional way to start off. My little niche is placing myself in competition with the whitetail and not other hunters around me. I was nervous, and having shot some decent bucks with my bow and never closed the deal with my gun, it made me, you know, I had my stomach in knots a little bit. I get to, you know, every little kid's dream is to be on TV hunting deer.
First gun season around, my dad couldn't be here this year. He's stationed in Kosovo on a peacekeeping mission. I bet he'd rather be out here with us, you know, chasing some trophy deer in central Wisconsin. I actually wrote for a little good luck charm, 157 MEB. It's my dad's mobility unit. It's a proud feeling for a son, especially, you know, knowing his dad serving his country and doing the right thing. And I'm happy and sad at the same time. So.
When the deer started filtering through, as we started seeing deer at first light, and then, you know, again, 15, 20 minutes later, I was getting to be pretty optimistic. The nerves started to go away a little bit. And then, you know, we had some deer skirt through on us that maybe we were thinking about taking, which also, you know, that it's like you may only get one chance at that buck.
I can see him. I think that's a shooter.
The only thing running through my mind was I needed to get this deer on the ground. That was my main goal, and I was glad we were able to put it together.
You know, up the hill here. Yeah. Right on him. Take your time. Take your time.
It was my first buck with any gun.
That's nerve-wracking. Oh, my ears are still ringing. Hey, I'll take the ringing in the ears if he's laying over there. It's too much fun. You shouldn't be able to see that many deer in one opening morning. We're gonna head her down now and go see what we can see. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't have drilled it. He looked decent, didn't he? We had a shot at a pretty good 8 about an hour ago, and shot felt good, everything looked good, so we're gonna go have a look. You see him? Yeah. Right there. Awesome. Good stuff. Opening morning, Saturday morning, Wisconsin. For my first buck with a gun. I've shot quite a few with the bow. I'm a little more serious bow hunter, I would say, than gun, but that's cool. Had a deer coming off the ridge down into our funnel in our saddle here all morning, and finally, after passing a couple nice ones, this bad boy popped out, and he is. Here he is. Cool. Can't beat that.
You making the shot and that deer falling. That's the feeling of success. Hard work, dedication, the right maneuvers, and putting a deer on the ground.
Like I said to Chris this morning on the way out, I says, geez, we sure have it rough as hunters these days. Get on an all-electric machine and drive out to my stand, sit down for a while, the buck comes in, and we're done. Drive up to the deer and haul it out. Oh, we're using our melons. Get the gills and bungee the hell out of it and hope to God it doesn't come off.
What's this one doing? Or are you just holding on to the deer right now?
It's gonna fall off if you don't hurry. We got one more if you want to use it. There we go. Not a bad day. Here. Doesn't look that bad. Gotta start somewhere.
Look at that. Hook's in there.
Slim. Make it official. Get everything down. Hopefully Jody doesn't give us corb boys stacking them up.
And Jody being not the most proponent or the most backer of the gun season in Wisconsin, I was a little bit concerned as to what he would have to say about another 2-year-old biting the dust at the hands of a firearm.
We're primarily a bow hunting area here, you know. Yes, we have tons of gun hunters too, but my business is based off the bow hunters. So gun hunting's not my favorite time of year. I mean, I understand it, you know. I've been doing this for 30 years, but like here, most of the bow hunters do gun hunt too, so.
He was pretty supportive. He did his best to bite his tongue.
We had fun. We saw a lot of deer. We were in a great spot.
He slapped me on the back and said, hey, nice buck, and did the whole song and dance for us, so that was nice of him.
Most of the guys that are bow hunters and gun hunters are better gun hunters because they are bow hunters. Gun hunting has basically become a tradition. Here, it grew because of the deer population got so big. 80% of the gun hunters are spending that day and a half in the woods. And they're here for 2 to 3 days. They sit in the same tree stand they've been sitting in for 20 years. The same box blind or the same tree stand in the same tree. So.
As you guys been hunting here, you said for 30 years?
30 years.
30 years, and you've been...
30 years yesterday. And that's how it's a tradition.
And now you see why no one's immune from the whitetail in rural Wisconsin. Deer are everywhere, and I do mean everywhere.
Basically, the business here is just it's a gas station, convenience store. We try to supply everybody with a little bit of everything in this small town.
I own Silver Lake Lanes in Scandinavia, Wisconsin. I have been here for 34 years, so this would be my 34th deer hunting season.
You know, a lot of people come in and they're getting ready to go and they're loading up with snacks and treats and a couple beverages and things like that, and they're heading out and they're gone for, 7 to 9 days. So, and they get out, and an hour later their wives come in because they've got to get something together to go out and experience a little bit of freedom themselves. So.
As soon as they walk in, I say, to the hunt. And we have a shot of Janówka, which is Polish blackberry.
The deer season is always a nice boost because typically in the fall, everything starts to slow down.
This is a big economic boost for all of us around this area because we really appreciate all the people coming in that I only get to see once a year, twice a year, so.
It's really kind of a nice influx coming into the community.
I'm spending money, whether it's here in the bars, motels, everything else. So.
A lot of people coming here from all over Wisconsin. They've been coming here for years.
And that kind of money coming into town is nice, and especially in a small little community like this.
The hunting camp stories, the year-round talk, I can't wait for deer camp.
You get all the hunting stories and everything like that, and the pictures start flying.
They've got a lot of stories to tell you, whether they missed the big one or they got the big one. A lot of does out there.
Oh, I got within 60 yards, or I got within 80 yards, and every time I move, I can't get close. But
they come out and have a good time and to the hunt.
That's it for this week's episode of Destination Whitetail. I'm Lauren Rich, and we'll see you next week.
Coming up next week on Destination Whitetail, we tag along with a wounded warrior from the First Gulf War. After returning from serving our country and years of rehabilitation, he chose the outdoors to make a living.
Really inspired a career for me in the outdoors. There's a real sense of unitedness and a bond that is very rare. It's something that not the entire country probably understands.
The time that I put in my actual job, and I hope my boss doesn't see this, has to be 1/10 of the time that I put in during the, getting ready for the bow season. And I'm sure, that when I'm at work, I'm only thinking about bow hunting like 70% of the time, so don't think that I'm not doing any work when I'm there.
I mean, we've had an 8-point buck and a 10-point buck standing out by the gas pumps. I mean, where else does that happen? Well, years ago, I think a buck broke into the barber shop.
Gun season brings more of an opportunity to get out, put yourself in a good situation where you know you're going to see deer and hope for the best is basically all I can put it. It's constructive luck,
Now this is your first buck?
First buck, 59 years old.
How long have you been hunting?
For about 30 years.
30 years. There it is.
All right, I will pick it up tomorrow. You know what time it'll be cut?
Who shot all those? You shot one? Well, congratulations! What the?